Hi, everyone. This is Alec Ellsworth, the Parks and Trees Director for the City of Montpelier, with a brief presentation about our budget. This is what we're going to go through today, just a quick bullets. This is our team, the Parks and Trees Department. We, for a sense of scale, the Parks Department has 2.725 employees. That represents about 1.7% of the overall city budget. And the tree budget is about 0.75% of the overall budget. And we have 1.2 FTEs in that operation. We are 4 staff members, and then we also have a grant-funded program, feast farm manager. And then we usually have 2 AmeriCorps members and then summer seasonal staff. So here's some details about our parks and our trees departments. Our work in parks is divided up into our basic services, providing safe, clean parks so that people can enjoy them. And then projects that we do for long-term benefit of the parks that go through community process and then get implemented. And then programs. So those programs, our major programs are the Youth Conservation Corps, the Feast Farm, and our seasonal events. On the tree side, very similar. We have our basic services providing an acceptable level of risk for our street trees. We provide emergency response and on-demand service, and then maintenance and improvements. We also have projects that we do in the tree realm and programs. You might be asking, why is it a Parks and Trees department? The tree services are usually something that would be bundled in with a public works. In our case, we have large forested parks, and so because tree work and arboriculture is a very specialized skill, and we need the skill to be in both places, we have lumped our tree work together with our park work so that those skills can be shared among the same staff. So on the tree side, we work especially closely with the Public Works Department. For FY26, our budget is looking to be significantly impacted. We are looking at a reduction of our labor force through the elimination of our 2 AmeriCorps positions, the elimination of the city's portion of the Youth Conservation Corps, which is only usually about a third or less of how much the program costs, but it leverages additional grant funding. So the city's portion is about $30,000, and the total program is usually $100,000. And then we're also on the operations side taking on additional duties due to a full-time employee being eliminated from the rec department. So our crew of 4 is going to take on field maintenance, help with the pool, building maintenance, a whole host of additional duties that are usually done by a rec maintenance position. On the capital side, we are behind on equipment just like every other department, so we're looking at replacing equipment that's beyond its usable lifespan. We have some project funds in there for the Hubbard Park multi-use connector trail to match some grant funding that we have, and then we also have project funds on the tree side. Some of the challenges I mentioned, primarily for us, it's going to be less labor. What we're losing out of the budget represents about 40% of our reduction in labor. And then we'll also have impacts from other departments, due to layoffs. So things that other people were doing in community services will fall on the staff that are left behind. That includes communication, it includes fundraising. It includes, obviously, all these extra duties we're taking on from the rec department. Losing our AmeriCorps members has further ripple effects as far as what we can do, on the more skilled end of our department, from grant writing and fundraising and program management. A lot of that time is going to have to be put back into, more basic maintenance duties. The impacts on our service are going to be significant. This is an image that we use to try to explain to folks how they can expect to see the impacts. There's a sort of a hierarchy pyramid on the bottom. The major part of what we do are basic services to maintain our parks and our trees. These are things that most people just expect as a bare minimum, and what most people would imagine they would be getting as a result of paying taxes. Our budget share is very small, but we do provide high impact to residents through maintaining our public spaces. Our department is basically the landscaping wing of the city. You could think about it that way. We take care of all the land and public natural public assets. So we plan to continue doing that to the best of our ability. We don't want to cut into those basic services at all. On top of that, our projects. So these are long-term improvement projects that have gone through a community process to identify what people want, and then they get implemented based on grant funding or capital funding. And so we, historically can sort of take on one project at a time in the parks and in the trees world. And here listed here is kind of what we're currently working on. Our major focus right now is flood recovery. We're looking at least one more year of mostly focusing on that. And then at the top are programs. So our major programs are economic development, trying to make Montpelier a destination for outdoor recreation, our Youth Conservation Corps, the Feast Farm, Parkapalooza, Enchanted Forest, and Ice on Fire, our three big events. So basically, we're going to eat into that top triangle as far as we need to in order to, maintain, capacity within our department. So we have to reassess what we can do in a major way based on losing positions and then also taking on additional duties. So I imagine not doing most of what's listed under that program pyramid, and then we will, have impacts on projects as well, because there's not going to be time for grant writing or supervising. Most of our major projects we do in a hybrid method with contractors, and we do some things in-house to save money, but we probably won't have the same kind of time available to help with projects. This year is going to be a major reassessment of our operations. If you have grown accustomed to seeing a certain certain level of service out of Parks and Trees for the last 4 and 5 years, I would say there's going to be major changes to that. So we're going to reassess what we can do, peel back on our programs like in the previous slide, and try to do the best we can to maintain our basic level of service and some of the projects that people are expecting to see implemented. That is my presentation, and happy to answer questions if anyone has them. And thanks for watching.